Smile friends, it's reading time. And today in our lesson for reading, we're going to learn how to make connections. That's right. What does it mean to make connections? To make connections, you are to connect what you read to your life. It may have happened to you, a friend, or you may have read about it somewhere else. Good readers make connections while they read to help them understand what they're reading. In today's Read Aloud, we're going to read or listen to Dear Primo, a letter to my cousin. We're going to make so many connections with this story. Are you ready to come along and join me? Let's go. Connections time, here we come. Today, we're going to practice making connections between the story and our background knowledge. Remember, making connections helps us to understand what we are reading. And we're going to read Dear Primo, a letter to my cousin, written by Duncan Tonatia. Score! I just got a letter from my primo, my cousin Carlitos. I live in America, but he lives in Mexico, where my family is from. Maybe someday we'll meet. Oh, look at him. He's super excited about getting a letter from his cousin Carlitos. Dear Primo Charlie, how are you? Do you wonder like me what life is like far away? I live on a farm by mountains and trees. My family grows many things such as maize. We have a burro, a pollos, and a gallo. Every morning the gallo crows and crows. Dear Primo Carlitos, I live in a city. From my window I can see a bridge and cars zooming by. I can see skyscrapers too. Skyscrapers are buildings so tall they tickle the clouds. At night, all the lights from the city look like the stars from the sky. Boys and girls, let's take the time to stop here and make a connection. Do you have a garden or a skyscraper near your home? I can make a connection, so I'm going to use this sticky note to label my connection that I'm having. And it is about skyscrapers. I have skyscrapers in my city, which are near downtown, just like my friend right here, Charlie. Every morning I ride my bicicleta to school. I ride it past the Pedals and past the Nopal. I ride the subway to school. The subway is like a long metal snake and it travels through the tunnels underground. Do you ride a bike or a subway to school? How do you get to school? Do you ride a bike like he does, or do you ride a subway? Or you don't ride either? You can make a connection. If you ride a bike to school, you could think, oh, this reminds me of how I get to school. I ride a bicycle. At recess time, I play football. My friend passes me the ball. I kick it with my foot and I score. And if I score, I yell, goal! I play basketball with my friend. My friend dribbles the ball and passes it to me. I jump and shoot. The ball goes swoosh, nothing but net. Boys and girls, do you have recess at school like Carlitos or Charlie? If so, that's making a connection. They are playing games during recess. Do you play games during recess? When I come home from school, I help my mom cook. My favorite meal is quesadillas. I make them with cheese and tortillas. So there are the quesadillas, there are the tortillas. In America, we have lots of different foods. My favorite food is pizza. I like getting a slice of pizza on my way home from school. Okay, now let's stop and think for a minute. Having pizza at school, they're having pizza at school, and I'm thinking I have pizza at my school too. So I'm making a connection. I'm thinking about what happens in my own personal life to what's happening in the story. These friends get to have pizza after school, but we have pizza during school and sometimes after school. So I'm making a connection. After I finish my homework, my mom lets me go outside and play. In Mexico, we have many games like trompos and canicas. So there's trompo, there's canicas. My favorite game is papalotes. My friends and I run and run. With a little wind, we fly the papalote high up. So that must be a kite. Do you play with kites like these friends do? If so, you can make a connection. When I finish my homework, I play games with my friends from the building. We play by the stoop. And in each other's apartments too, I like going over to my friend's home to play video games. Wow, they're playing video games. Do you play video games at home with your friends or your siblings? In the afternoon, it often gets hot. To cool off, I jump in a small rio that is nearby. In the summer, the city gets hot too. I like getting splashed by the fire hydrant, and then the firefighters open it up and close off the block. On the weekend, I go with my parents to the mercado, an open air market in a town nearby. We sell maize and tunas and prickly fruit that we grow. We also buy the food and other things we need. On the weekend, I go with my mom to the supermarket. She brings a list: milk, toothpaste, soap, and I check out the items as we put them in our cart. Okay, friends, let's think again here. How can we make a connection to this story than from what happens in your own life? Do you go to the supermarket like this friend here? Or does your supermarket look like this? When I go to the market, to the store, this is what the store looks like in my neighborhood. So I'm going to draw another picture because I'm making a connection. This is what it looks like when we go to the store with my mom and my parents, and we make lists as well. So I can make a connection here, just like this in the story. In the town from time to time, they have fiestas that last 2 or 3 days. At night, there are cohetes that light up the sky, and mariachis that play and play. In my city, sometimes we have parades. People in costumes and uniforms march down the street, and everyone gathers around to watch. Wow, look at both of the bands. We could actually compare and contrast those because this band, mariachi band, looks a lot different from this band, but they both create music. There are charros in Mexico that I wish you could see. They do tricks with their caballos and riatas. On the streets, here you can see breakdancers who do flips and spins on their heads. In Mexico, we have so many traditions such as the Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. My family tradition is attending the December parties called posadas. At the end of each posada, there is a piñata filled with fruits and sweets. When someone breaks it, we all get to jump in. Okay, I like to stop here and make a connection. Now, I have personally seen many piñatas at birthday parties that I take my children to. So, this reminds me of birthday parties that I take my children to because they like to break open the piñatas as well. I am making connections. This is what good readers do. Let's continue. In America, we have traditions too, such as Thanksgiving when we eat turkey and Halloween when we dress up and go trick-or-treating. But I have to stop writing now. My mom just told me I have to brush my teeth and go to bed. I have an idea. My Primo should visit me. My Primo should come visit me. And my Primo should come visit me. Do you think that they should visit each other? I think they would. They probably could learn so much more about the different places that they live. One lives in Mexico, and then one lives in the city. And boys and girls, now that's the end of our story, Dear Primo. I hope that you enjoyed this book and were able to make connections. Remember, the next time you read a story or someone is reading a story to you, remember to make those connections while you read. This will only help you to understand what you are reading, because this is what great readers do. Happy reading and happy learning, friends.